Next, David Sims, known as Shredlocks. So, sorry, guys. Sorry, I was just going to do a little intro when you guys introduce. No, come on, sit down, man. So, yeah, he's born in Florida, played sports all of his life, moved to Cali, chasing the sports dream, right? Went to pursue football, and then got a scholarship to Iowa State University. So chasing that dream, and then you went on to the NFL, right? Played professional.
You gonna let me tell the story?
Yeah. I'll just give a little spoiler alert to get the people's interest peaked. So yeah, he went on to the NFL, did some time there. And then now, doing his personal training and coaching. So I'll let him tell a little bit more, but if you guys could do that round of applause again a little bit louder, that would be awesome. Let the people know a little bit about you, your story, and we'll take it from there.
First, I want to say I'm not big on public speaking. This is me breaking. This is me breaking the ice of stepping outside of my boundaries, right? So, my name David Sims, born and raised in Gainesville, Florida. I have a long story, but I'm gonna start by starting at the point of I played professional football for 4 years. It was a journey that was great, Leading up to it, it was a thing of, I got to get to the NFL. I have to get to the NFL because as a kid, that's all you see growing up. Gainesville is we have a big university, Florida Gators. So that's all.
Hold the mic closer.
That's all you want to do is play ball, imitate the guys you see that's a little bit older than you or whatever. So I went on a path of going.
It's okay, man. Yeah, so you say, yeah, it's all good.
It's okay. I'm gonna work through the nerves. I went on to go. I was fighting to go play in the NFL. It was the journey, and I say I was telling one of the guys I met outside that I didn't really appreciate playing in the NFL because on the outside looking in, we all know it's a great thing. You get paid well, but once you're in, everything becomes routine. Right, like anything else in life. Though you work, you build great skills with being working on your consistency, the dedication, the grind, the perseverance through anything. And I would have to say, if I could go back, then I would change a little bit. But after I played 4 years, like I said, and I came up here after. My last year, I was initially going to play for the Argos, but after going with them in their mini camp, and I realized that I didn't have it in me no more. I was chasing this dream that that I lost the urge to play and to go through everything I went through while playing. Right, so after coming up here, I started my personal training. Got more serious with my personal training, and now I can say I did slip into a little bit of depression because I played football since I was 7 to age 28, right? So that's all I knew is sports, football. So I identified myself through the sport. So it was about 3 years, I slipped into this depression, which I didn't know until about 2 years, maybe a year and a half ago. And then I realized that I wasn't sure who I was anymore because of football, was a big part of my life. I wasn't, I didn't know myself. So I had to step back and, realize who I really am and what I want to do for myself. So, it took a while for me to climb out of that hole, but, it didn't take anybody but myself to dig me out of that hole. I could never seek on the outside. I could never go on the outside to seek what I needed for the inside. So it took time for me to dig deep and I guess be honest with myself about what I want in life and who I really am. So from then to now, I'm I've been taking the steps to be completely honest with myself, whether it's the ugliest part of me, the demons or whatever. So, now I'm, building my brand, my business a little bit more, and I'm in a better, happy place that could do to be because of a relationship as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's great, man. That's definitely admirable. Can you talk about like just getting yourself out of that dark space, and then also just with your clients as well, the motivation element? How do you stay motivated now? How do you motivate your clients? And when we met, we talked about the mind and the body, how they connect, with each other. So can you talk a little bit more about just that element of motivation?
Okay, how I dug myself out of that hole, I had to sit in that hole. I had to sit in it for a while and until basically it was time to basically come out of it. I had to sit in there and identify what's really going on with myself, right? And after identifying that, I just worked backwards and forwards. I guess, things from childhood or whatever that I was hiding, right? So that a lot of that came up. So once I got through that, I was able to break through. And what motivates me and what how I help motivate clients is just teach them that getting in the gym is half the battle. Once you're there, it is going to take a little bit more than your physicality to really push through a workout. You got to be in it mentally, right? Just constantly give them cues, the little simple things, like Jordan, he's one of my newest clients. So we go through our whole thing of, anything that what happened to him and how to work backwards to get through it, to move forward, to, better any part of his life that way. All right. So, and I motivate, myself by just realizing, knowing what I really want out of self, where I'm trying to go, what's my goals, what's my dreams. I know I don't want to be mediocre. I don't want to be in the same place I'm at a year or two from now. Each year I want to progress and be better than I was. Even, you think about be 1% better than you were yesterday, so.
Cool, man. What's some advice? So you mentioned having like a network of people to kind of help you get out of, the challenging time. So throughout some of those conversations, is there anything that kind of sticks with you in terms of the advice that was given you, or maybe even on the flip side, advice that you give clients that really works? Like, what are some words of encouragement, words of advice that you've received before?
Words of advice I've received before, it just, I used to get them from my brothers, a younger brother and a brother that's my age. It's just having a conversation with them about life and what do they think, how do they get through whatever situation they've been through, and what I can use, because when we get information from people, we're not going to use it all. We're going to just use a bit, take a bit from it. But the advice, the major thing is just take it one day at a time. Don't try to, solve the issue all at once, right? Just take it one day at a time, know what you want, keep working at what do you want one step at a time.
Okay, so a client comes to you and they don't know what they're really getting themselves into, right? So they might be coming. So what is that? What's the typical mindset you see? And then, what is that typical mindset you see? And then how do you get them from thinking, like David Goggins will say, once you're working, you're only doing 40%, right? So it's like, how you get them from 40 to 60, 40 to 80, change their mentality and, change their mind to end up like performing body-wise.
Just show them that they're capable of doing it, because a lot of people look at my Instagram and be like, man, I can't do the workouts that you post.
Yeah, I said that too.
But you can't compare it. Like I tell them, you can't compare yourself to me. Compare yourself to yourself, just like your last session, right? You come in your last session like, oh, that was hard. That was so hard. But it was good. Like as soon as they leave, they're like, thanks for the great workout. It was great. And then they come into the next session like, oh man, I'm not ready for this. But then you just got to tell them, you just got through a session with me 2 days ago, you're capable of doing it. So just try to put one foot in front of the other, like one rep at a time. Don't focus on the entire workout that we have. Just focus on this exercise right here and do it the best you can. But people get it twisted by just thinking they have to do what I do. Right. No, you can't. I'm not saying that you can't, but eventually you will get there, of course. But you just have to keep trucking along, man, and just keep putting in that work to better yourself. It's you versus you always. So.
Yeah, I think there's a big one, overthinking. I think we all do that a lot. So yeah, it's just like about taking that first step, taking that action. What are some of the things you have going on, and what are some of the like affiliations that you work with in terms of your different training and the different brands that you work with? Do you want to talk a little bit more about that?
So I'm a Jordan master trainer and a Nike performance coach. So I do training for the both brand. Well, it's one brand, but both brands. I got quite a few going on. I want to share that. If you could, I'll share a little bit. Okay. So,
you guys want to hear, right? You guys want to hear?
All right. Here we go. So what I have going on, one, you see I have this sweater on. This is one of the, my sweater, well, not one of one, but my first sweater that I'm going to make out of a line of, athleisure wear. And this is one thing that, I've been thinking about for a while that I just I didn't think I could do it because, I don't know fashion, but when I started, it's just that those juices start flowing, and I'm like, okay, this could be dope. That's one thing. I'm also doing working on web TV with a couple of my friends. I'm working on, just look at Shredlocks.com and you'll see everything what's coming. The website is almost finished and everything will be on there. I don't want to give it away too soon.
Okay, cool. So yeah, everybody head over to Shredlocks, follow him, make sure you get that announcement. Do you have like a general timeline of when we can expect to see some of this action? And then the second question is, can you talk a little bit more about the Jordan training, just so if anybody's interested in getting involved or things like that. And sorry, just to add on, I see that you have a running group or a workout group that you started as well. So I don't know if that's an option for people to be a part of.
So everything I have that I'm into, right? Things I've created myself. First, when it comes to the Jordan brand, we train high school athletes. We got two high schools that sponsored by the brand, and we train them on. We have this thing called Jordan Breakfast Club. Once a year, we train them. It's like you wake up at 6 in the morning, because Jordan used to wake up with his Breakfast Club workout at 6 in the morning. So we take them through basically everything that those guys went through back in the day. Well, try at least. I have. And that's on the performance side. We do have consumer sessions for anybody to sign up every Wednesday night at 6:30 and Saturday afternoon at 12:30, and those are free to the public. And you just sign up on 306young.ca. Like you said, I do have an Accelerate program that I started last summer. It's a program just to help people run correctly. Right? We have a lot of runners in the fitness community, and a lot of them have bad running mechanics. So I thought I'd take it upon myself, since I did track throughout high school and university, that I could help some people get better, get faster, run correctly. And I also have this program I started called Fit Together. Right, it's a boot camp. We're just trying to get the community fit together. See, as it says, right? So, also, you asked me a lot.
No, I think that was the last one, the accelerator. The accelerator. Yeah, sorry, man, I just brain dumped on you.
Yeah, you just got me.
Another question, maybe for you and all the other fans in here. Who you got for the the Super Bowl, man? This weekend, what is
Man,
it, Chiefs, 49ers?
No, I have
Is
Kansas
it-
City Chiefs.
You got the Chiefs?
Yeah.
So who got the
My-
Chiefs here? Any football fan? You got the
Yeah,
Chiefs?
you better, look, I only got them because the head coach was my head coach when I was in Philadelphia. I like Big Red. And then a couple players that I played with are on the team as well. So I got to cheer for the home team.
All right, dope. Okay, cool. So any questions from the audience? You guys are so quiet, man.
Nice to meet you. My name is Shekinah.
Nice to meet you.
I have a question. So I actually had 3 mild to serious injuries last year. Big gym head. I love being in the gym, but obviously I fell off a lot last year because of my injuries. I'm trying to get back into it. I'm still feeling some pain. What is your advice for someone trying to get back into the gym after a couple injuries?
I would say take baby steps. Don't think you need to get back to where you ended, right? So take baby steps. Make sure you're doing all your self-care things like, your stretching, mobility, and things like that. Just take it. Depends on those injuries like knee or hip, whatever. Take the time to build your body back up. You only have one, so take the time one step at a time to build back up to where you want to be. Don't get frustrated. I know we all get frustrated when we get to this point, but one step at a time.
Great. Any questions on this side, guys? Back there? Okay.
Hi, my name is Farida. I'm in a space of searching for clarity, and you sort of talked about when you took this great investment on yourself, took a step back, and really looked in, like, who are you, who you were trying to be. What did that journey look like to you? Because I'm finding that space very cloudy and like trying to take a step each time, but in different seasons, like not even know if I'm going the right direction. So what is your journey to clarity like?
I feel like that journey was it was very dark, and it's going to be very dark because you're trying to find yourself, right? So I would just say to find clarity, don't rush through it. We try to get out of it because of the way it make us feel. So don't rush through it. Just make sure you're honest with yourself. We won't be able to dig ourselves out of that hole unless we're completely honest with ourselves first.
Yep. One more question over here.
It's good seeing you again.
What's up, brother?
It's something I've said to you before. I've gotten to a place where I enjoy coming downtown to die for an hour. Mm-hmm. I've said that to you, and it's something that's really growing in me. I generally now look forward to our sessions. What do you say to other people that haven't quite found that? And as someone who has found that, how do I keep that going?
For the people who haven't found it yet, I feel like it's easy to look around us and what's going on around us, seeing the level somebody over here has versus the level you have. And you just, like I said before, you just need to focus on your grass. You need to focus on the things you want to achieve because their goal may not be the same as your goal, right? So I would just say focus on the things you want to do for your body, right? For those people who have that issue. And I just say, for you, you're building that love. Just keep it up. Find ways to do a little more on your own to build. So you could, every time you come in, you have a little bit, oh yeah, I went to the gym, I did cardio, I did this, I did that, right? I love to hear stuff like that. Just keep chipping away on what you need to do on your own, so your own homework. And then so when we get back together, it's like, okay, I'm a little bit more strong, a little bit more confident, and I can move forward. I can push a little harder. I don't need to take as many breaks. Like last time we talked about, you didn't take as many breaks last time, right? Right? So that's all I'm saying. Just, you know.
That was honestly like a milestone.
Yeah.
I felt really good about that when I was walking out that door.
Yeah. So baby steps, man.
Okay, cool. So I think that. Oh, sorry. Is there one more? Yeah. Sorry.
Hi, my name is Daryl.
How you
I
doing?
wanted to ask you, you talked about the time in your life when you were attached to your professional career. My question is, there's a lot of people who find their self-worth attached to their jobs or to their professional career, that they don't have the time to think of something else or do something else. How did you personally, what kind of, like, was the catalyst to kind of transition from being a football player into whatever you're doing right now? Like, what gave it away? What was the, and what would be your advice for a person who finds their self-worth attached to one thing in their life to kind of transition to doing something else?
First, do you love that thing? Do you love your occupation? Because if you, I feel like if you're trying to find something else, you don't love what you're doing, right? I just feel like when I transitioned from football, I did love football. That was my first love. I loved it. But it got to a point where politics played a role for me. So I didn't love it anymore. It was no longer a game for fun. And coaches always would preach, have fun. But no, how can we have fun when you could get cut tomorrow, right? I get cut when I get back to the locker room. So it's a little hard on that behalf. So what helped me transition, I just found I always train hard. I love working out. So it was an easier transition for me to go into fitness. It was, but it did go from helping myself to helping others, right? So that's when my love grew more, to see people, you know, body change right in front of me, and they, you know, the energy they give off, the more they want to train, like Jordan, like the more you want to come in and train, and the happiness of a text, somebody sending me, oh, David, I could fit in these pair of jeans I haven't fit in 10 years, right? Just stuff like that, you know. It just, you have to find that love. If you're going into something that if you transition into something that you love, it's easy. It's easy.
Okay, time for last one. One more, if anybody has. No? Okay. Yeah, so, yeah, a couple really important points there. Microphone's kind of tripping out. But a couple of really important points there in terms of just like, yeah, focusing on your own, taking the next step. And yeah, just focusing on those little gains that add up to like big momentous moments along the way. So yeah, I want to thank you for bringing that perspective in that time. So yeah, everybody, round of applause for Shredlocks. Hit them up on IG.